Darian, how'd the first scrimmage go, and how did it feel get the competitive juices flowing more than just on the practice field?
It went great. I think that to get out and play in the stadium for the first time, it was pretty awesome. Did some situational stuff, went live for the first time, so a lot of fun, but a lot to work on as well. So.
Where do you think you've been pushed the most, just as far as like managing all the weapons you have, learning Shannon Dawson's offense? Where have you been pushed the most, you think?
I think Coach Heatherman kind of pushes me the most. I mean, his defense and just the way he schemes stuff up. He does some really good stuff on that side of the ball. So I think just trying to go out and be successful as an offense is probably the most challenging thing against his defense.
How's that advancing your progression as a quarterback? Facing that level of play calling, that level of defense every single day in practice.
Yeah, it just makes you that much better for sure. And I think that practicing every day against an elite defense will make it easy. When it comes to game time, I don't think we'll see a lot of defenses who can play like ours. So it'll just make you that much better.
About halfway through fall camp now. Is there anything you've noticed about your own game that's progressed or gotten better over the course of the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, just seeing what the defense is giving me and changing my receivers' routes and kind of just having the freedom to do whatever I want. When I first got here in the spring, I was kind of focused on learning the offense itself, but now I'm kind of learning the defense and seeing what they're doing.
I mean, just how have you seen the offensive line progress through fall?
They've done a great job, and I think that it's finally starting to come together. They've done an awesome job gelling together, but like I said earlier, a lot more work to be done.
Your connection with Cooper, obviously Mally, but who else do you have fun tossing the ball?
Really everybody, to be honest. But I think that we'll get in some sets that people will be surprised. I think we've got so many people, so much talent, on the offensive side of the ball that we've got to get in specific sets to get everybody on the field. And so to answer that, really everybody.
Has that been a surprise to you at all, or is that why you came to Miami?
Yeah, I'd say that's the reason why I came. Just seeing the level of talent. I think that I can compete at this level, and so to be just amongst these guys is really a blessing.
How have you seen the freshman receiver sort of getting acclimated with the speed of the college game?
I think they've done a great job, and I think, like I said earlier, Coach Heatherman and his defense definitely makes it complicated on them. And so, we're getting the hardest looks that we can get in practice, and so when we get in the game, I think those guys can contribute.
And Mario's talked a lot kind of through the offseason about ignoring the hype, ignoring the outside noise and everything. He mentioned also that you guys are only here in the building for a couple hours a day, and the rest of the time you're outside, you're on your phone, you're talking to people, whatever. How do you stay focused on what the coaches want you to stay focused on and not get caught up in outside stuff?
Yeah, I think it's just having an elite process and an elite routine. Just stay, grounded. Try not to look at the opinions of others, even though it's kind of hard in this day and age. Everybody's got a phone, everybody's got an opinion. But have an elite process and just stick to your routine and not let anything outside of this building creep in.
Darian, what's it been like being a mentor to some of the younger quarterbacks? Obviously, Luke, Judd, and Darian.
Yeah, it's been great. I feel like I've kind of taken Darian on under my wing. I remember when I was a true freshman at Tulane. Michael Pratt was like my senior quarterback, and I feel like I learned a bunch from him. And so remembering that and trying to be an example like he was to me is kind of what I'm focused on in that room.